my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need? Shadow read for this full to new July 2023. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Darkness Circle Productions since 1998, 25 years in service, author of Words of Grace for a Professional Witch. There's a Kindle version available. There's a link in the description box. Click it and preview it for free. Then if you want, go see the original over on Patreon. Well, some of my subscribers on Patreon get the original Fellini Film Fest version that we had to tone down for Kindle big time. All of my subscribers on Patreon, which is my favorite thing on planet Earth, by the way, all of them, regardless of subscription level, get me every morning with an unlisted YouTube live stream link where they chat with me about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, called the Daily Check-In. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. They also get all the extended readings, all the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. There isn't one for these. These are the timed, not the timeless reads, but all of my extended readings are timeless and relationship based. They get them all past, present, and future as long as they remain subscribers. The third thing they get is a significant discount on private sessions with me, which we will talk about at the end of the video. As I release the Gemini Collective, it's usually goofy, even for a shadow read, we'll see. But we also have, at the time of this recording, 2 of my subscription levels, Seeker and Human. The first 2 have 7-day free trials, so if you want to dip a toe for a week and get out before you gotta pay, I don't mind. Check it out because I love Patreon and I highly recommend it to my creative friends out there. So if you want to check the menu and come Patreon on Patreon, because I am the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. It's more than you'd think, but you can just call me Mal. And I have a Taurus kitten who's a little bored, kind of wandering around the house, yowling for no reason whatsoever. I keep checking on him. So we're just going to roll with that. The power washers were here today. It's been a busy morning. Oh yeah, and then one of my power strips just died. So it's been a bit of a morning, but now I'm ready to rock and roll. So let's do some explanation for the new Geminis and cross-watchers, and then we will get down to the divination. An 8-card draw is just 1 card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about anything. Really, you could fine-tune it to really anything at all, but in this case we are looking at a 2-week period, hence a timed reading, not a timeless reading. A waning moon from full to new in July 2023. The releasing, the letting go. I do the 5-card draws for the plant a seed, watch it grow, beautiful noodlefuls I call them, so I can remember them. But the shadow reads are just that. The shadow work, the releasing, the letting go, the alchemy, releasing the 3 symbolic atoms between lead and gold on the periodic table of elements to move to a more golden timeline rather than leaded, little by little by little. And I will say this, we're going to look at the astrology, let's do that now, over this 2-week period, because it's not necessarily chaotic, but there are some things of note. Like, for starters, the full moon itself, right? The full moon in Capricorn, Monday, July 3rd, 7:39 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm in New York, so if you've got the day off because of, you know, Independence Day, however that works out, even if you don't, 7:39 a.m., that's like practically, well, it is almost 8 a.m. here on the East Coast. So Capricorn on a Monday. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules coffee beans. Done, right? A little when the moon rides at her peak, then your heart's desire. So you can honestly, first thing in the morning, my heart's desire is a strong cup of coffee. But then, you know, enjoy the full moon. The shadow work does not need to start the second. Sometimes it does. We'll say that. But then, of course, 2 weeks of releasing, letting go, surrendering, alchemizing to the new moon in Cancer. Also a Monday, so we've got a new moon on Monday. I'll let you finish the rest of the song in your head. July 17th at 2:32 p.m. So, you know, in terms of lighting torches and waving it for it's 2:32 in the afternoon Eastern. So, you know, maybe it won't be as visible in bright sunlight depending on the day. In between those 2 days of note, Mars is going into Virgo, which would square a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever. That happens on the 10th, the day after Mercury goes into Leo on July 11th. So that's really it. I mean, I'm sure other things are retrograde, but these seem to be the ones to be most relevant. And, you know, look, when the moon rides at her peak, then your heart's desire, seek, bask in that. You get 3 days in waxing and 3 days out waning. Really manifest your heart's desires, water, earth, air, fire, knock yourself out. But then get that the last 3 days before new moon is the balsamic or the dark moon, where that's when the shadow work really kicks in. So stitching time saves 9. I am a Virgo. What do you want? So it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs. You might have 4 different areas of your life that need some surrender, some release, some more gold than lead percentage-wise is what these readings are for. And certainly you shift one a little bit, they all shift a little too, because you're the common denominator, and this is why cross-watchers get some sympathy, some empathy, some insight and understanding for the Gemini you are cross-watching for, because there are things in these readings specifically chosen for the cross-watchers to help. Like there's an affirmation in the chakra reading cards, and the Divine Animals Oracle is cool, right? The Archangel Fire Oracle, and of course we're ending with the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra, so that you could do your own, you know, thing to help not just the Gemini you're cross-watching for, but the entire Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, because that's how holographic stuff works. Please don't make me do math instead. Enough with all of that explanation. Let's get into the divination, and I do that in a wonderful little 2-word spell my guides gave me a couple of years ago called Still Point. Want to see it happen? Here it go. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Please take a nice deep breath. Still Point. Pantheons, please override. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards. It's my Shazam, man. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video drawn to this reading. Please, beloved ones, what is the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra affecting all the other chakras underneath it, sending down the codes, the lessons, the messages, the shifting of all of the chakras, electromagnetic fields, shifting what they attract and what they repel so they can no longer delay, they can choose to no longer delay what cannot be prevented, to alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxic to healthy, this full to new. That was good. Oh, this is in the title. You already knew before I did. How does that work? July 2023, the Vampire Archetypal Wildcard Family Archetype. I am sure I will post my 2-hour class that I did talking about vampires and witches and the relationship between the two archetypally, because we all got vampires to deal with. Now look, you have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. All the vampire sounds horrible unless it's your gig, right? But all archetypes are neutral, so as horrible, as terrifying as it sounds, is as brilliant and healthy as it is in its gold, right? The shadow to light, which is written on the card. So let's talk about the shadow, and we'll talk about the light. You could be dealing with a vampire, in other words. I'm not saying you're deliberately one. The shadow attribute, what I call the lead, depleting others for your psychic survival. So if you are dealing with a vampire and they're draining you dry, do understand it's the ego fighting for its survival, because that's what it do. Chronic complaining and codependency. Oh, I carry garlic wherever I go. It's like, oh no. That's, I mean, someone's having a bad day, but chronic complaining, it doesn't stop, right? No go. Because that's an unwillingness to heal. And codependency is one of the 4 ego wounds that have been written into our DNA since what, cave people, right? Abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss. So, you know, they gotta feed, but you don't gotta be their blood bag. Just saying. So, the light makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Oh, so very much so. And oftentimes, it is lower 3 chakra dynamics. So let's see what's going on there. If your 2nd chakra goes, something's off here, something's off there. Because I call the golden vampire, the vampire slayer, or the vampire healer, depending on whether you want them in your life or not, and that's a decision every Van Helsing must make sooner or later. Oh. Yes, I'm totally having what we do in the shadows flashbacks. I can't wait for it to come back on. So the next 4 chakras down we'll do with 1 card. The Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a feminist deck because it is feminine energy, the internal, the internal, heart, third eye, crown dynamic, and throat chakra with the vampire, right? So let's have a look-see-duck-see. It's fun. Please take it. It's like an adventure. I feel all Buffy all of a sudden. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Goddesses, please override. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of air, the sign of Gemini and powers of the East, please, beloved goddesses of mutable air, 1 card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, drawn to this reading. What do they need to be aware of? Inside, yin side, heart, their third eye crown, to alchemize the vampire from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. This full to new, July 2020, 2023, 2 of Pentacles. Choices, right? Balance, but I'm going to say third chakra, right? Remember, there are 3, because it's the vampire in particular. See, the thing about the third chakra is it has 3 speeds. Spit, swallow, or chew. Spit is when you make the decision, you go, poof, and you say it, right? Sometimes that's the right choice. But it's only a 2. It's not all the way home to the 10. Sometimes it's swallowed. I'm like, oh, I'm not dealing with this right now. And sometimes you gotta, right? You're at work. What are you going to do? Chop their heads off in the boardroom? Verbally, you could. You're a Gemini. So the other one is, oh, I gotta chew on this, and that's usually my speed until I, am ready to confront it. So, we're looking at a balance. Now, the throat chakra, just gonna say, anatomy of the spirit, Caroline Mace, it's what I base my 8 chakra system on, anatomy of the spirit. In the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life overlays with the chakric field. It's in her book. But this one is about the judgment and mercy, right? It's a big one. It's a big one. So that chewing on it is important. And, interestingly enough, the sacred truth of the throat chakra is surrender your will to the divine, not to somebody this way, that way. Because then essentially you become like this ray of light, or just Madonna us for a moment, right? And you burn them up, right? You just blast them up. I call it pop the tick. Well, in my line of work, you can only imagine. That's why that video, Witches and Vampires, particularly if you identify as a witch, will help. I would have a feeling. It's free on YouTube. Lower 3 chakras, though. Let's see. The masculine energy. You looking at yourself from, the outside in, right? Checking yourself out like in a mirror. Could be you looking from the inside out at different people, places, and things. Relationships in the physical world, but also solar plexus, your relationship to yourself, of how you present yourself in the world, and who you want to be in the world, your honor code, and all of that. Ready? Please, this should be fun. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. I feel you. God override as I call upon my gods of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the East. Please, beloved gods of mutable air. 1 card in clarity, please, for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video. Drawn to this reading, what do they need to be aware of? Lower 3 chakras, outside in, inside out, relationships in the world, to alchemize the vampire archetype, from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, illusion to truth, fear to love, this full to new. July 2023, the Lovers, life-changing decision, lower 3 chakras. Your lower 3 chakra intuition, what's called your survival intuition, is what's going to get you through this. But you have to find a way, because which goddess you want to piss off? The card of the Lovers here is called the Judgment of Paris in the Mythic Tarot, one of my favorite decks for sure. She puts here the golden apple in the hand of Paris, the hero, not the city, just clarifying, to determine who is the most beautiful goddess. Is it Hera, power? Is it Athena, wisdom? Or is it Aphrodite, love? Now, all of them are competing for it. It was a rough wedding. Cadmus and Harmonia, a golden apple, stole the show. Well, they didn't invite the goddess Discord. What are you going to do? She got pissed off, so she got discordiant. Not shocked. Well, let's just say each goddess offers him something, because, you know, no, not her, you know, it's two sisters and a stepmother. You can imagine the party kind of took a turn there. So Paris eventually gave it to Aphrodite to have the most beautiful woman in the world as his wife, Helena Troy, hence the Trojan War. Life-changing decisions, right? So, you know, if you've got Apple, choose wisely, I don't know. But certainly, this is going to take all three chakras down there feeling that out, because if you're feeling like this does not feel stable, I am not ready to make this decision, I need to chew on this, that's valuable. That's valuable, intuitive stuff to do, but then you also know if you're just swallowing it and not wanting to deal with it, that's a decision too. And sometimes that's the right decision, but let's keep going. For 3 cards on the table, we switched the 8 card draws around. This time we let go of The Blessed Bee by Lucy Cavendish as our last card down, and instead put in the chakra reading cards, Rachel Sharman, Rockpool Publishing, to give a little extra hint here of which chakra to perhaps begin with or look into. This is the 9 chakra system. They deal with the Earth star underneath the surface of the Earth. So let's ask the higher selves of all involved, because with a vampire there has to be at least one other person involved unless there's a nest. I've cleared those out too. Please take a next deep breath. You get better at it every single time. Still point. Higher selves, override. As I call upon the pantheon of higher selves. For the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video drawn to this reading, please, beloved ones, what is the chakra in the 9 chakra system? The oracle message needed is what do I need read by the Geminis and the cross-watchers to alchemize the vampire from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, this full to new. Clarity, third eye, right? Get yourself a clear quartz. I'm sure you can get one somewhere. Clarity, card number 25, gorgeous. I don't know, I think that's a picture. It's just too clear, I think, to be drawn. But this card has come up repeatedly in the chakra reads that I have just recently been doing. Yep, it is the first in the third eye chakra section. Card number 25, Clarity, third eye chakra. You have attracted this card into your awareness today because clarity is upon you. The ability to experience clarity is connected to the third eye chakra, and the more this chakra opens and is activated, the more clearly you will receive. It's time to see things clearly, to receive the answers you've been searching for. When our third eye chakra is blocked, it can affect our perception of situations in our lives. I don't know, like being put under a glamour, if you want to true blood it, just saying. You are being encouraged at this time to cleanse and work on strengthening your third eye chakra so it can work to its full potential. Okay, let's just look at it this way. Light equals truth. So you throw a vampire out in the sunlight, they burn, so they don't want you to see it. Even because they may very well believe that that's the truth. Perception is not always reality. Where am I? There are some great meditations you can do to activate the third eye. A great crystal to assist with this is amethyst. I would work with clear quartz personally, but you do you. Place this crystal on your third eye point and breathe in its energy to help activate and awaken your chakra. And I say it all the time in the air sign reads. It's like breath work is key to shifting energy in general, right? So element of air, have that. Wim Hof, just saying. What in your life requires clearing? It is now time for you to action some clearing. So this is not passive. This decision of the lovers in the lower 3 chakra is going to take action. Sometimes our minds create illusions that stop us from seeing the truth. It is time for you to let go of the thoughts that no longer serve you and come into a place of clarity. Once you receive this clarity, you will feel a deeper sense of self and well-being in your world. This card can also indicate that it's time to clarify a particular situation in your life. You may have asked a question, and this card is telling you that once you work on finding clarity, the answers will come. And here's the affirmation. I experience life with divine clarity. So not human clarity. Ah, well, you know, that's why. Who knows? Divine clarity. They know. Just saying. I like it. I like it. Right, you're gonna go in clear. And remember, wooden stakes are very, very handy because, you know, if you don't have any more vampires left, it didn't work on anybody. It's a Terry Pratchett mangling. Carpe Jugulum, okay. Jugulum, Jugulum, you do you. Let's talk to Lord Ganesh, the whispers of Lord Ganesha. Angelo Hartfield. I love Lord Ganesh. I've had a relationship with him since I started the company. I was working with the Ashaya monks. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Elephant-headed Hindu god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, which is why we're using it to help remove those three atoms in the spiritual alchemy. Please take a nice deep breath. Ganesh, please override. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, please, beloved one card in clarity to represent your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help remove the obstacles for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. Alchemizing the vampire from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion to truth, enslavement to freedom. This full to new July 2023. Blessings. It's a very celebratory card. Blessings. Now that's the thing. If you are surrounded in, let's just put this in air quotes, holy energy, which I wish we could put a W in front of this, so it's holy, right? The energy of the whole, right? Unity. Then there is a big opportunity for you to do this in bless the crap out of them. It's a strategy. I've done it. It doesn't work for every single time because nothing works every single time. Otherwise, it's not much of a hero's journey for a vampire hunter, is it? Woo, I just keep getting better at it. Yeah, you're gonna come for me to sharpen your fangs. Blessings, you are divinely protected. Work. Ganesha asks you to consider what exactly it is that you want at this time. And that's the thing with a vampire. They bite your throat chakra, right? It'd be easier if it was the elbow, maybe, I don't know, bump into things. But, you know, willpower, right? They're trying to control you. Ganesha asks you to consider what it is that you want at this time. He asserts that your desires are within your reach. The universe is conspiring to help you achieve your aspirations. Since the universe is in harmony with your desires, the how will transpire effortlessly. So if that's the chronic complaining, but how? You don't know. No one does until it's directly under their feet or in front of them, and then they gotta choose and make a life. Really, you got the choice card on the inner and the life-changing decision card on the outer. Ganesha is bestowing on you blessings of luck and new prospects. Be very clear about your intentions at this time. Once you have identified what you desire, Ganesh will work to clear the obstacles and amp up your blessings. Withstand the temptation to succumb to self-indulgence. You are in an excellent, affluent phase. This period will not last forever, so be sure to take advantage of it and act when opportunities arise. Resolve will triumph. So you're resolute. What do you resolve to? You bite my neck? Teflon neck syndrome, baby. The principle of averages works in your favor for now. The more that you perpetuate something that you want, the more likely you are to receive that very thing, even if it feels impossible. These manifestation possibilities are endless and range in subject matter, from love to money to success to happiness. Ganesha teaches you that your blessings are continuous. The realization of the blessing may not be immediately apparent. Trust that happiness and blessings are always being showered on you. What is going on in your life at this moment is external and beyond your control. True happiness and blessings lie within you, in your heart of the soul, which certainly would speak of that clarity of the third eye, to just begin seeing the blessings. And sometimes we don't see them until hindsight, right? Location, location, location. And the ocean decided to stop making noise. I put that on because there's a lot going on in the condo village today. So, blessings, all right. But yes, seeing that blessings for an air sign, I get that. Because our beliefs can certainly be in the way with all of that. So, Everyone has access to spirit animals and totems. So, of course, shadow work, I've drawn upon the pantheon of the animal kingdom. It's a bit of kind of shamanic. I won't call myself a shaman, though. I'm not a shaman. I've never been in a sweat lodge. I've been in a couple of saunas and a steam room, or 10. But, you know, I'm a witch, thanks. I can do it in a hot tub if I need to. So, knowing who's there to help, right? We all have access, but, you know, you gotta know who to call. It's not always Ghostbusters. Please take a nice deep breath. Something weird in the neighborhood, and it's you. Who are you gonna call? Take a nice deep breath. Oh, still point. Totemic override. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems, pantheon of the animal kingdom, for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, please, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, offering them the guidance, the grace, the love, the wisdom, the power, the support, and the oracle message to help the Geminis and the cross-watchers alchemize the vampire from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, this full to new in July 2023. The bat. Fruit bat. At least come on. Come on. Come on. Now somebody just got this. Who got the bat? It is, it's kindness. Okay, so Aries got the bat as well. Well, it is. The key word is kindness, but it's the flying fox. It's not the red fox because, you know, Elizabeth. Oh, only some people are going to know what the hell I just said. Card number 12. Kindness, but this is also about fertility, by the way, because of the amount of the seeds that the fruit bats fly, and then they fly, and then they guano. And, yeah, and the cycle continues again and again and again. Where are you? Did I forget numbers again? No, there it is. You fruit bat. Kindness. Choose kindness, which isn't always the easy way. So that's interesting. Third chakra choice, kindness. Kindness will always be repaid. Consider others in your decisions, especially those with less power than you. So maybe it's like, maybe not decapitate day one, right? Start with a little garlic earring. You know, they won't know unless they get close. Repay your debts, spread the seeds of goodwill, and your fortunes will grow. I'm just going to read the magic because I remember this one wasn't long. Fruit bats are a vital part of the ecosystem, ensuring seeds are spread and fertility of the land is secured. The energy here is one of fertility and plentifulness. Invite flying fox energy into your workings when you wish to invoke more kindness or fertility. Flying fox, you a 20th century flying fox. Oh, what a movie. Look, this is really looking like you could very much develop a good defense system that I call TNS, Teflon Neck Syndrome here, by choosing kindness. Because when you actually, energy can only be stolen by a vampire when it's freely given. It short circuits them. Unconditional love, right? Or, you know, Reiki the crap out of them. I don't know, you do you. But that thing of doing it out of kindness, to understanding that somebody bit them. And what if there's an ancestral pattern of codependence and vampirism? Their soul was sent to incarnate into it, and I was. I had to deal with it from a very, very young age, right? And I was always terrified of vampires. I'm not anymore. Thank you, Buffy. Oh, let's move on. That was a little personal. I feel naked, even though I'm not. I promise I'm not naked under the table. I'm sitting on my dining room chairs. So let's call in the Archangels. The Archangel Fire Oracle by Alexander Wenman. I think only I could make a vampire shadow read fun, but you know, at least I'm having fun. Everyone has access to archangels. Your higher self has often been called a guardian angel, which belongs to a club called an archangel, and there's a lot of members, right? A lot. All them higher selves cluster in together, and then the archangels get together and they have other clubs, right? So they have the thrones, the powers, the dominions, on and on and on, the cherubim, the seraphim, the, you know, you do you. So everyone has access, but who are you going to call? Again, Ghostbusters. I mean, Bill Murray just does show up out of nowhere, apparently, and we love him for that. but maybe we'll call on a celestial force that you have a hotline to, or at least is waiting in the wings to zoom in at your invitation. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Archangelic override. As I call upon the beloved pantheons of archangels for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, who's the archangel waiting in the wings with the wings, knowing exactly what to do to come in and help the Gemini collective and the cross watchers alchemize the vampire archetype from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, illusion to truth, illusion to clarity. This full to new July 2023, Zuriel, the whirling dervish Sufi vibe. They do not write the keywords, which is why I love this book. I think this is my new favorite. Very, very powerful stuff written in this. So I'm just gonna kind of pick and choose as I get to the page. Card number 27. Zuriel, almost there. Zadkiel. You'll love this. Zuriel, diplomacy and fair play. Throat chakra. Right? Are we there? Are we there? I think. Are we there yet? Yeah, we're there yet. All right, I'm going to give it a little because not a lot of people probably know about Zuriel, Z-U-R-I-E-L. Beloved Zuriel is known as God is my rock, and the angel of repentance, like the female Sufi whirling dervish on her oracle card. She is regulator of opposing forces and governs the rotation of the heavenly bodies, keeping Mother Earth in sync with our solar system and universe. So that's kind of off. That's, a lot. You got a lot on her plate. Zuriel stands for harmony and peace. As the celestial rock, she helps keep you rooted to the spot when you need to take a stand for what's right. She is a formidable ally to have around you when you are facing conflict, especially when facing injustice coming from the opposition, as she literally cannot be budged. I shall not be moved. Zuriel acts as your inner backstop, preventing you from backing down in the face of unfairness. Let's just jump. What else is on here? Oh, also the angel of vitality and fertility. Well, there's a double whammy of fertility with the flying fox, and archangels have wings a lot, actually. A little terrifying at first. You get used to it. She's connected to the sign of Libra. Okay, the message. Call on me to bring harmony, diplomacy, and fair play to all your interactions. I will restore your equilibrium. Diplomacy and fair play, right? So you can be a hero instead of a villain on this, right? Maybe you heal the vampire. Because, when they return to, turn them into dust, one drop of blood, they're back, right? Someone will come along and say, ooh, and they're back. Drac. Okay, Drac is back. Let's get our healing mantra, though. Last card down. The Matcon healing mantra, I say it all the time. Air signs, I think, have a much better time with mantras and all that stuff. Makes sense in general. But considering there's only one major arcana card, but it is the lovers, and this could be a lover relationship if you want to take it that way. But it really feels like your lower three chakras are kind of telling you something there, but the third eye is how you interpret it, right? So let's get this healing mantra on the table. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly. Please, beloved ones, one card in clarity for the perfect healing mantra to help the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, helping them to alchemize the vampire from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, because something's probably telling them that some person, place, or thing is draining their energy, so that they can chew on this in the wisest way possible. Two of Pentacles on the inner while they are at a crossroads with the lovers. Lower three chakras needing some clarity in the third eye. The blessings are there. They are safe. They are protected. They can stand their ground, that this is moving forward for them. The how they may not know, but to do that with kindness and fertility as they go, to stand their ground with Zuriel's fair play and diplomacy, with all of that on the table. The perfect healing mantra for the Gemini Collective and the Cross Watchers. To alchemize the shadow to light, light to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy of the vampire archetype. This full to new. Opening my mind, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. Third eye. Third eye. There are hidden blessings here, perhaps. That's the alchemy. There's gold hidden beneath the lead veneer. Wisdom for you to have. So opening my mind is probably not, oh, well, they're doing their best, let them keep biting me. It's probably like, oh, this has nothing to do with me. I'm just juicy. Believe me, happens because you are. My energy must be delicious, but must be stolen. Freely give it away. It's a different vibe. Opening my mind, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. When your mind opens, you're no longer limited by fearful beliefs or at odds with your own healing journey. In other words, this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Teflon neck syndrome is worth developing. With an open mind, you are aware of a bigger cosmic picture where your personal life ushers in your highest potential by uplifting the consciousness of humanity. So there's this phrase that my guides have been playing with me, the unbitten. I'm like, I was bitten, but I am unbitten. Thank you very much, right? Like, no wounds, no trace of it, which, is a step in the process. As your mind opens, life is not just centered around your personal gains and losses, but shining your light for the well-being of all, wherever you happen to be, like in the face of a vampire. I'm gonna shine my light, right? Fry them, just fry. This mantra is also ideal for ending the inner negotiation with the ego. Well, but if I do that, they'll do that. But if I do that, but then they'll do that. And then if I do that, it's like, that's negotiating. Choices, right? Unraveling self-sabotage. Well, if I just do this, I'll have to put, you don't have to do that. And confronting the inevitability of loss sooner or later. Can't have gain without loss, right? So opening your mind. We have so much fear about losing the argument, losing the person, place, the thing, the whatever. It's one of the four the four ego fears, right? It's abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss, those wounds. They all have fear in them, obviously. So this is a very, very powerful thing. And for an air sign to get opening the mind. Now, is it I allow myself. So only you can allow yourself to see beyond your beliefs and ideas, opening your own mind, seeing this differently, and maybe not just seeing the light, but seeing your own. Oh, that was so deep. Let's put this together in a blessimation, shall we? And then we'll talk about some other cool stuff at the end of the reading as I release all of you from my energy fields and your vampires along with them. Shall we? One last time, please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheons. Override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for our beloved Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to be made aware that someone or something is draining their life force in their life and in their physical world. They are at a crossroads. How are they going to make the wisest, most loving, most empowered decision? Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera, by opening the mind, help them open their mind, that they allow themselves to see beyond their beliefs and ideas so that they can go forward with diplomacy and fair play with the help of Archangel Zuriel, because there are blessings all around them. They are so close to achieving what it is that they want to achieve, though the how may not be immediately available. So to proceed in kindness with themselves, of course, as well as others, bringing themselves into that, bringing in the clarity of the third eye that they can choose to work with directly, because it is a choice in the end. Fear or love, truth or illusion, lead or gold, bit by bit, day by day, on and on and on. May they be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to do their alchemy. shifting themselves, the ones they love, this whole world, bit by bit, day by day, to a more golden timeline for our well-being and for the well-being of all. And with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So motivate, Buffy. If you liked it, just hit the thumbs up and like it. Just helps other Geminis and crosswatchers find it. You want more of me here on YouTube, subscribe so you can see. I don't know how many people can make a vampire shadow read fun, but I think I did. You tell me, comment if you like. But over on Patreon is really where I get to let loose. Like, if you think this is letting loose. I mean, you know, it's not OnlyFans, at least not yet at this point in my career. My mom is still alive now. But certainly, we do have some cool stuff going on. We've got the 2 7-day free trials for Seeker and Human, the first 2 levels of subscription. If you want to check me out for a week, no pay, but stick along, play along if you want. You would get the dailies, you would get the extendeds, but you know, the discounts, we're saving them to people who actually subscribe. I think that's only fair, don't you? Kindness and fair play. And diplomacy, yeah, Patreon's great. It's a hoot. If you're a creative type, check it for yourself. It's my favorite thing on earth. Come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. You can just call me Mal. And yeah, you want to book me for a private session on my website, drawingthecircle.com. There is a store. You can click on the different things in the store, and you can see all the writing stuff that I did, right, explaining my new price structure, because I raised my prices for the 25th anniversary of the company, whether I'm traveling, doing it on Zoom. All of that's on there, but there is a video. Of course, a link in the description box. Booking private sessions with Mal, which includes spiritual counseling as well as readings, all of that there. And I say it in the video over and over and over again, and I mean it, I mean it, I mean it. I've never turned anybody away because of lack of funds. That is not who I am. That is not what I am here to do. I am here to serve as a Virgo, and anybody who wants to take a step forward, a little clarity, a little guidance, a little grace, to move to a more golden timeline, well, that's what I'm contracted to serve in. So click the link, check it out, reach out. Clients usually always come first, except when, like, you know, power strips go out. You got to deal with that or what's right in front of you. So hang in there, my Gemini. I mean, really, diplomacy, Zuriel, I would at least do a Google search. And that will help open your mind here. The blessings are everywhere, but when you're being drained, you're not at that altitude to see it, right? So, freak bad, you big flying fox. Try and get some altitude on that and shine your light at full capacity, because the world needs it, don't you think? Wishing you all the very best and the very, very blessed, my truly, truly, truly outrageous gems. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.